All right. It's Freestyle Sunday, man. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna address something that my boy DEA Lee sent me on Twitter. It's about the Ezekiel Elliott stuff, man. Because I think we gotta keep our eyes open for, measure Kool-Aid. And so, like always, we gonna measure the Kool-Aid today. And we gonna talk about Zeke. Because you go hear this whole offseason doom and gloom, and you go hear optimism. We wanna balance it, right? We always wanna be in balance on Boss Cowboy Sports, man. That's what we try to do. That's what we're about. Because it's about, obviously, having an appropriate amount of optimism mixed with realism. So the Ezekiel Elliott doubt is out of control, is what I'm saying. Alright, I think it's totally out of control. And we gonna talk about it, man, because it's important. I want all our boys to know that we support them, especially when they doing their jobs to be prepared for the season. And he's been doing that, right? It's a whole lot of videos that's out already of him back in full gear of his off-season workouts. He clocked one of the fastest times at practice, going 22 miles an hour. Man, that's not by accident. That's work. And we got to give our man his respect. And I'm going to do that today. But it's going to be in balance. We're going to talk about the future. We're going to talk about what can happen, what can likely happen. But let's be clear on one thing for sure. The future of Zeke is going to be more so up to Zeke. It's not going to be up to the pundits, the doubters, the haters. It's going to come down to even a little bit of luck. We're going to keep it all the way honest. It's going to come down to actually maybe a lot of luck, right? So, like what happened to Tank. Why you think Tank had to take that pay cut? He played good when he came back. But when he hurt his foot, that hurt his value. That luck changed his financial future. And it did. Because he was ready to play. So we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff in context. We will have a little bit of trivia, right? We're going to start the show off on some trivia. We're going to ask some questions that's going to bring all of this together. And we're going to respond. It's going to be a nice response video. No slander, no hate, but all measure Kool-Aid. So y'all stay put, man. I'll be right back. It's Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. All right, y'all give me 1 second. It's the same old stuff as usual, man. Let me get y'all set up where I can see y'all comments and stuff. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, gotta always turn that stuff on, and then we go get right into the content. It's gonna be a good one today, though. And then obviously it's freestyling, so we gonna take calls. We gonna definitely take calls. All right, let me turn everything on. Boom. All right, man, y'all already in the building. I see you.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Yeah, I see y'all, man. I like it when y'all come in the building like y'all do it. Let me turn this music down a little bit. All right. My boy say, my dog, Renell, I see you. Yeah, you my dog too, big bro. And it's, I love how a lot of the content come from y'all, That's always the case, to where y'all voice really do matter. My boy D.A. Lee, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I'm going to just pull it up, and then we go get right into the content. And then I'm going to just kind of address all the stuff that's out there. Real quick, let me go to my page real quick. So I'm on Twitter. And let me see. Where my boy D.A. Lee at? He over here. All right, here it is. Y'all already sharing on Twitter too, man. Y'all see, that's what I'm talking about. That's how to make y'all voice matter. I see you. I see y'all already got them shares going. I just kicked it off. All right, so this is where this came from. All right, so what we getting ready to talk about. So here it is. All right, let me make this bigger. All right. So my boy D.A. Lee sent me this. He said, boss, they pushing the narrative on Zeke. Captain Cap is coming soon. And I was like, what he talking about? So I clicked on it and I was like, ooh, that doubt they pushing. Not cool. But we gonna talk about it, man. But before we do, let me say what's up to everybody that's in the building. We already got us a super chat. I appreciate that. He said super chat is back. Let's go. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna push that to the queue so I can address that. And so then let me take some of these chats real quick. My boy say Pollard. Give me a second. Get this right. He said Pollard can definitely convert a 3rd and 3. No doubt. Yeah. Yeah. And so we gonna take calls. We gonna talk about this. Craig say, what up, boss? Oh, yeah. My boy Tony B say, yo, boss, you promised to give me the name of the artist that dropped your intro jam. I got you, dog. I'm gonna put it in the description after the show. I promise you. I'm gonna put that in the description so we can all be on the same page. But everybody that's in here, man, they saying what's up. So this what I'm gonna do, since we already know what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the content, then I'm gonna take some calls. But before we start, I got some trivia questions for y'all. All right, and I need y'all to answer too. Everybody that's on Facebook, everybody that's on Twitter watching right now, and everybody that's on YouTube watching right now. I need y'all to answer me this question. All right, who was the better running back between Joseph Randle and DeMarco Murray? Okay, that's what I need y'all to answer right now. My boy say word is bond. Man, don't judge me too hard, my dog. Tony, I'm gonna do my best. Man, let me write this down, man. Tony go hold me to that. Get Tony that song. Tony, just give me a second. I got you, dog. That boy say word is born. He gonna put that pressure on me. So who was the better running back, DeMarco Murray or Joseph Randle? All right. And I see y'all coming in. It's unanimous so far too. So I see some Tupac said Murray for sure. All right. Renell, my boy said Murray. All right. And then Brian said Murray. Chris Davis said Murray. Tony B, Murray. T Smooth TV said Murray. It's pretty much unanimous Murray. All right. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. All right. So that's the trivia. Y'all know we go come back to that because that's a very important question I just asked you. And then Tyrone Hall say real quick, because we talking about this got something to do with Zeke. He said, I'm going Murray. He was a nice back for us until Zeke came along. No doubt. Right? So another trivia question. Stay with your boy boss. Stay with me. Stay with me. Oh, we got us a Randall vote. I ain't mad at that though. We got somebody outside the box, Rodney. He said Randall because he was a better receiving back. No doubt. But it's unanimous Murray. It's like 30-1. And that don't mean you wrong either. Yeah. So, but everybody voting on Murray. All right. So we got one more vote. So it's obvious that everybody's saying Murray is better. This next one might be tough. All right. This next one might be tough. Who's the better running back between Marion Barber and Felix Jones? Who was the better running back? Do I hear the OC? No. Okay, I thought I heard something in the back. That's just me. All right. So, yeah. So I see somebody say Joe Randall was nice, but Murray. Yeah, my boy Special K say, damn, that's tough. Now you got to vote, dog. Everybody got to vote. No. Who was the better running back between Marion Barber and Felix Jones? Yeah, Shannon, see where I'm going. See, Shannon. Shh. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, Shannon. Don't say nothing. All right. But T Smooth said Barber. I see a vote that say Felix Jones. Renell, you funny. Renell came in here. He say apples and oranges. Oh, no, dog. No, dog. You gotta vote, dog. We ain't doing that today. You gotta vote, big dog. Ain't no apples, oranges. You gotta pick one. Come on now. 2 different styles. I don't care. You gotta pick one. It's a draft. Both of them sitting right there. You gotta pick one. Who is it? Come on now. Because this got something to do with what we gonna talk about today. All right. So anyway, I'm seeing Felix Jones. I'm seeing Barber. It looked like Barber's in the lead though. Yeah, I'm seeing it's closer than the first one. All right. And my boy T Smooth said Felix had that speed. He did, T. Like, I don't know how my boy Felix used to do it, but in 2 steps, he would get you about 6 yards every 2 steps. Yeah, my boy Brian say tough one. Felix Jones in shape, Barber better in multiple years. I guess Barber. See, this is a good one. Let me give everybody a hand, man. I like this. Let me give everybody a hand. All right. Because y'all already know at Boss Cowboy Sports, you know, one of the anthems of the show is to drink measured Kool-Aid, all right? So that's what this whole show is going to be about when it comes to Zeke, all right? So first, let's cue it up. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. My boy Studi Wood in the house, man. Good to see you, big dog. It's always good to see my boy Studi Wood straight out of H-Town. What's up, big dog? All right, so let's get into this content, then I'm gonna take some calls. All right, hope y'all ready for this. It's gonna be a good one. Let's go.
You got this running back situation with the Cowboys, and I know, Gavin, you've kind of talked about find a way to move on, right? So Blogging the Boys went through kind of the different ways and stuff like that. They were talking about, hey, you kind of ride this thing out. You just go ahead and ride it out. I'm not talking about, you know, like at least through this year riding it out, because they're talking about that. They brought up about the wear and tear that you're starting to see with Elliott, but they're also giving him a little bit of a break because of the knee, the partially torn PCL back in week 4, because they were talking about, you know, after the first 4 weeks of action last year, Elliott was starting to look like his old self. He was accelerating through holes, cutting well, powering through would-be tacklers to churn out every little yard he could get.
Had some big plays early last year.
So,
let me pause that. First of all, is that true? Okay. All right. Because what we talking about is the questions and doubts that we have on Zeke right now. I say it's out of control. But according to them, Blogging and the Boys did an article where they was breaking down that they need to ride it out based on his contract because he was playing better at the early parts of the year. Is that true? He looked like he was himself. That's what they was saying. Well, at Boss Cowboy Sports, you know what we do. We go bring you the film. Let's look at him before the injury, and then we go look at him after the injury. Let's see if we see a difference. This is Zeke, healthy Zeke, right? Going against the Giants. Tell me what you see. I saw a quality jump cut there, some agility. Looks good. Okay, I like that. What else I see? Okay, do we hit that? Okay, he hit that corner. All right. Okay, looks good to me. All right. Jump cut, bounce out, positive yards. Looks good. Strong running. This is before his injury. Okay, so I'm just looking at him. Say, okay. All right. The good thing that I'm seeing, because this is every run too. I didn't leave none of them out. All right. One of the things that I like that I'm seeing, you can see the acceleration, and more importantly, every time he touching the ball, he getting big chunks and he moving forward every time. But the main thing that I see is speed and agility. Is his speed like Pollard? No. But is his speed good? Yeah. Yeah. So let me see. Let me check him out right here. Great catch. Dives for the first down. Awareness. So look like Blogging and the boys might have a point. But we can't say they have a point until we see Zeke after that knee injury in week 4. But this was before, right? Zeke looking good to me, man. That run the ball looking like, it looked like Zeke was on his way to a career year. Like, watch how he hit this corner. Man, y'all got Zeke messed up. All right? Because that was the case. That's how they started off. They started off reading an article by Blogging and Boys saying, and they was making the case. They was saying we need to ride it out with Zeke because he was unfortunate that he played through an injury. Let's ride it out, right? So I'm showing you the film of what Zeke looks like prior to that knee injury. Okay, let's look at what Zeke looked like after the knee injury. Okay, versus the Giants. What's different? Let's just look at it. One thing that's obviously different, that big bulky knee brace. That's one thing that's obviously different. Another thing, yeah, I'm gonna break down Pollard. My boy Shannon say break down Pollard. I got a breakdown of Pollard coming this week. I got y'all. Trust me, Pollard wasn't gonna be good. Y'all gonna love that Pollard breakdown. I went deep on Pollard. But anyway, that should be Thursday. I've been working on that all day. But anyway, when I'm looking at the differences, is one thing that you see between the first Giants game that you don't see this Giants game is he had a lot more agility. You saw the jump cuts, you saw the speed, right? You're not seeing as much jump cuts, you're not seeing as much speed. Now, is he still effective? Yeah. But is he an obvious different running back? Yes. Is he still powerful? Yes. Is he still bringing pain to the defense? Yes. But is he the same as it was he was? Clearly, no. Clearly, no. All right. So I just wanted to go back to that before I get back into this response and looking at the doubt that's lingering on Zeke. So let me get back to the interview and let's break that down. Here we go.
You feel like that you're going to get the healthier version that you saw through the first 4 weeks last year?
No.
I
think you're going to ride this out because it's your only option with his contract.
Yeah.
But I think if you think Zeke's a good football player still, it's an indictment of your NFL fan IQ. It really is.
He can't even be in the good category?
No.
Your guy is now in the, what would you say, below average category?
Yeah. And you hate to see it, but maybe just very slightly below average. But, you know, this happens to all running backs. It's just what happens when you get old. You know, it's even happening to Christian McCaffrey and even Derrick Henry. I mean, it's not a mystery. Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, like Melvin Gordon. Show me the running back who goes after 26 years old with all those carries and is still good. It's nothing personal against Zeke. It's actually a problem with the NFL collective bargaining agreement. You know, they need to let running backs in the NFL at 19 years old so they can jump in and actually start making money. College is just wearing them out. If I'm a college running back right now, I play 1 year, and if I'm good enough to get drafted, I'm going to sit for 2 years, and I'll see you in that draft.
Yeah, but NIL changes
the industry
that a
is
little bit
chewing
now,
them
right?
up. Yeah, the NIL does change that up a little bit. Yeah.
Definitely helps. Guys are going to be more willing to play running back instead of all your best athletes going right to the receiver or quarterback position.
Is he right? He called Zeke below average, and he said anybody that doesn't agree with that, it's an indictment of our football IQ. Oh, damn, bro. Because I don't think he below average, bro. I don't. I think he's still way above average. Not even above average, way above average. Why I say that? Because how many running backs went for 1,000 yards last year, even healthy? How many? Only 6. Remember, our guy did it on a bad knee for over 80% of the season. Our guy. If you get 1,000 yards, it was 7. I'm sorry, it was 7. But 7 out of over 64 running backs is damn good. So how is that average? How is that average for a guy? So I'm finna fight you and I tie my arm behind my back and I still beat you up. I'm an average fighter? No. I'm an elite fighter. The fact that he still got 1,000 yards and was banged up over 80% of the season. No, Gavin, I don't agree with that. And I think my football IQ is fine. But overall, he's right in terms of the value of running backs is not as good because of the durability factor. I agree with that part. I agree with that assessment. But see, this is what's happening to the running back position, and it's not right. Because of the volume of running backs that don't seem to show durability long term. People that have that freakish genetic trait of durability get thrown into the boat of let's devalue them as well. Like Zeke. Because yeah, Zeke could fall off a rock because he's aging like a lot of running backs do. Or could he be the next scorer?
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Because there's exceptions to all positions. There are exceptions to every position. And because those guys are not as durable, why are we lumping Zeke into that? When he shows durability and he shows an above normal rate of toughness.
Yoga fire.
Because in my opinion, we should be praising Zeke right now. We should be praising him just because of the sacrifice he made to give us 1,000 yards on a bad leg. Now we could be mad at Mike McCarthy or Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones, who made the executive decision not to sit him. And I do think they should have protected him against himself. But I'm not mad at Zeke for choosing to play and be a warrior. Let's take a call. I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna come back. Let's take some calls real quick. Let's get that going. All right, hold on real quick. So we got the call lines open. So y'all call on in, cause we freestyling, and then I get back into the content. But shout out to DA Lee, man. We wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't for DA, right? So this is something that he sent over to me, but this is something that I know we need to address, because it's gonna be a whole lot of slander on Zeke this whole offseason, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen from my local media. I'm not saying it's intentional. Sometimes these people really believe this stuff. I just think some of it is bad takes, but some of it is about money. Some of it is about ratings. You know, some of it is about trying to create controversy from slow off seasons, and they need stories. So they're going to create a villain. They're going to create an antagonist. But we got the call lines open, man. And y'all not calling in. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds. If y'all don't, I'm going to get right back into the content and then just break this whole thing down. All right. But I keep the phone lines open for a little while. All right. But going back into the content, if y'all call in, I'll pause it. But sound like y'all, because y'all not calling, seem like y'all want to go ahead and get into this content. So we'll keep it going. Here we go.
Addition.
To Gavin's point, though, he's entering his 7th season as a team starting running back. He's already amassed 1,650 carries for a total of 7,300 yards.
Just brutal.
With his receptions, he's nearing 2,000 total touches.
Oh, my goodness.
See, that's the thing. The wear and
And
tear.
he's 26 years old.
Yeah, that's way too much wear and tear, and that's the blame for the first probably 2 or 3 years of his career, where it was just Zeke. And the problem is like it's your only option. Zeke's your only option from he's got to stay on the route. You don't have an option to really get rid of him.
Right.
But it's not the only option in terms of how you disperse the carries. Tony Pollard has earned the ability to get half the carries.
Well, see, that's the thing about it is, and they go on in the story because they're talking about the Tony Pollard situation. Pollard receives an equal amount of love from everybody, and he deservedly so because he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a stutter step away through the line, waiting for the crease, has incredible bursts, caps it off with outstanding breakaway speed to hit the home run. You know, he generates a lot of speed. He uses that momentum to go forward for extra yards. For someone not as nearly as thick as Elliott, Pollard surprisingly grinds out a lot of extra yards after contact. His efficiency is night and day different than what Elliott is producing. Okay, that they see that. We see that. Why doesn't the coaching staff see that?
Are they right? Are they right? That's the question. Now, this will go be a good fight. Pollard versus Zeke is going to always be a fight. But they talked about Pollard basically shows to be not as big as Zeke, good strength in terms of yards after contact. And then they also talked about the average, right? The averages, and basically they making a case as if Pollard is a better running back. Is that true? Because we started the trivia on DeMarco Murray versus Joseph. If you coming in late, I want you to answer this question. Who's a better running back, DeMarco Murray or Joseph Randle? All right. Also, if you coming in late, I want to say this because I know what happens a lot. I already know what happens. See, sometimes what happens is people get caught up. They be eating food, chilling, or cooking, on your oodles and noodles, right? And y'all forget to hit that like button. As you sitting here chilling, watching the show, man, hit that like button. All right, just do that real quick. Hit the like button so that we can keep that algorithm strong, right? And this is gonna get shared to more people just by y'all hitting that like. So before I continue, make sure y'all do that. But are they right? That's the question. Let's keep listening.
It's amazing, they couldn't see that Jalen Smith was ineffective. I think this goes to the business dynamics of the front office and the ownership. And I think
and see, that's my thing. Was Jalen Smith ineffective? Because I don't understand how everybody is still mad at Jalen and they don't have a peep of noise about LVE, who was way worse the last 2 years. Hold on, let me take this call. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hello?
Yeah, Boss Cowboy Sports. Hello? Yeah. Oh, somebody was called from Italy. That's crazy. Anyway. Yeah. So, but let me keep going.
Want things to be true, and the people under them sense that. This is going to be a very difficult conversation. You going to go talk Jerry into the fact that he's got to take his number one TV star off the show? Yeah. You're just not going to do things like that. Mm-hmm. Dan Quinn came in and shook some sense into everybody.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
All right, this is Walt. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It has some static in the background, brother.
Oh, man, we got to push through it. Let's go.
Okay.
What you got?
It's still choppy.
Okay, can you hear me?
A little bit. I just wanted to say this. This is Raw Truth Media. I commented on the comment section, and all I wanted to say is that I think that the Dallas Cowboys need to use both Zeke and Pollard effectively. Running back by committee. It's just my opinion. It helped Zeke out for not having to wear and tear, and it helped Pollard to be utilized more. It really helps the team out. But that's on Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore has to be creative and stop with the simplicity plays that he's been doing. This is the reason why the Los Angeles Rams went far. The Cowboys lack creativity. But Zeke, in 2016, that's no more, and that's the reality. But he's still a solid player.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, I agree. But they already use both of them, bro. You know? We not a system to where they use one running back. They use both running backs.
Right. I just want the Cowboys to use some common sense this season.
Yeah.
Don't play any favoritism. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones paid Zeke all that money, and I'm glad he got his bread. He feels obligated to have him on the field more than 50% of the time.
Yoga fire.
True. Can't fight that. I agree.
If Tony Pollard was with the 49ers, Rams, or anybody else, do you agree he would have been utilized more?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially after Zeke hurt his knee. Yeah, they would have said Zeke. They would have said, you know, we value you, Zeke, but we need you at 100%. We don't need you out here at 80%. I agree.
But, yeah, that's all I wanted to say, bro. Love the show. Everyone hit the like button. There's about 100 people in the comment section. Support this brother. I'm going to tune in.
Appreciate it, man. That was a good call. Very good call, man. Appreciate you for calling in. All right. Yeah. So, no, I totally agree with that, too. Ooh, I'm going to have to come back to that one. Now, I'm going to talk about that now. Because you do have to follow the money with the Dallas Cowboys. You got to follow the money, because we can say the same thing happened with La'el Collins versus Steele. It was only because La'el got paid that he was starting over Steele. He was not playing better than Steele. He wasn't. And anybody that think different, I guarantee you they would show no film. Nobody. Because there was a whole lot of people that disagreed with me in the OC. And they, you know, they stuck their chest out and said it. You guys are wrong. Okay. We was the only people, period, that did a side-by-side comparison. Where's yours? Yeah. So now, that's one thing Jerry and Steven got to get over. Once they pay somebody, that doesn't mean that that person is always going to be the best player. But see, what they do is because they paid you, they almost act like cheap billionaires to where I got to get my return on investment, even if you're not the better guy. It's the fact that I'm paying all this money and I don't want you on the bench. I want you out there. Yeah. Yeah. And to a degree, that is favoritism. That's favoritism to your pockets, though. You know, it's cheap in a reverse way. Very good call. Fantastic call. Let me get back to this, and then we'll take some more calls.
Guarding Jalen Smith. But so far, none of these coaches have the balls or the skills to manage up to go tell the Joneses that Zeke is hurting them. Maybe their running game wasn't broken. Maybe the offensive line isn't horrible. Zeke just could not get the job done. That's what the Tony Pollard stats actually tell you.
Yeah, because here's my favorite. You have the yards per carry just last year. Zeke's 4.2 yards per carry. Pollard's 5.5. Okay, so that's easy thing to understand. Then you get to the rushing yards over expectation. This is when you start getting into the weeds a little bit on the analytics stuff. What were you expected to do on your carry, and what did you end up doing? Zeke is negative 0.1 yard over expectation, meaning he's not even getting what the expected yards are on any given run. Pollard's 0.9. Pollard's basically almost a full yard better than what they would tell you he should be getting on a carry-to-carry basis.
Based on how good it's blocked
Yeah.
and where the
Right.
defense is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then what's more the crime for the Cowboys, front office and coaching staff? Using Zeke or not using Pollard?
Damn good question. Damn good question. But I want to talk about that average stuff again. Because remember, we started with a trivia question. We asked a question. We said who was better out of DeMarco Murray and Randall? Right? It was unanimous DeMarco Murray. Well, it wasn't unanimous. It was one person said Randall because he could catch. But it was about 40-1. Easily, right? But if you're looking at average per carry, it say different. So if we look at DeMarco Murray, that's why you got to be careful with these averages and these analytics. And when you start trying to make football decisions based on analytics, you got to be, because see, context matters. Because he talked about how Zeke wasn't performing up to the expectation, but he left out that knee.
Yoga, fire. Yoga,
So if you
flame.
actually add in the knee, he was actually performing above expectation. Because now you're trying to compare a healthier Pollard to a banged up Zeke, but you're trying to make the case that one is better. Because when Pollard couldn't play, he didn't play. See, that's the difference. See, Pollard didn't go out there when he won 100%. No, he didn't. He set that out. Zeke was different. He went on out there. So obviously one is going to have a better average when you playing healthier. But look at DeMarco Murray. So this is DeMarco Murray. Looking at his best year, 2014, he averaged 4.71. Hold on real quick. Let me take this call. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, what's up, boss? This is Black, bro.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, look, I gotta say, I just feel like it's just what a coincidence that they bringing this up now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just perfect timing for them to bring this up because it's like Mike Fisher was warning us earlier last season that they probably was gonna be getting rid of Zeke after this season was over. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to bring this up now so they can throw smut on his name to get rid of him, just like they was doing Cooper and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like they be doing all the stars, you know what I'm saying, when contract time, you know what I'm saying, right before they get ready to start cutting them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think nothing wrong with Zeke. I don't think Zeke diminishing or none of that, for real, for real. Everything's fine with Zeke. And everybody keeps saying that, like, probably better than Zeke and stuff. All I keep saying is this. Go back and watch that Carolina game. Zeke took over that Carolina game. You know what I'm saying? Them boys was hitting in that Carolina game. And Zeke was goddamn going to put him pounding on them. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Zeke, huh?
No, keep talking. Keep talking.
Zeke took over that Carolina game for what? When them boys, when Chen and them was out there, they can Schultz fumbled twice in a row and stuff. Man, Zeke was out there putting the team on his back in that game. You know what I'm saying? He was the one taking over that game before everybody else started rallying behind him. You know what I'm saying? And started getting with everything. You know what I'm saying? Before we started daggone taking over everything, he wore them boys down. You know what I'm saying? Before we got daggone took over that game. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, go back and look at what Zeke was doing in the beginning of the season before he got hurt, man. Zeke was a different back, man. You know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't put Zeke. I wouldn't put Pollard over Zeke. I think they both. You know what I'm saying? Good. They just need to run both of them more in abundance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be sitting up there giving them. You know what I'm saying? Giving that man 10 carries a game. You know what I'm saying? We need to be running the ball at least 30 plus times a game for real, for real. And you know what I'm saying? Split the carries and get the ball. Whoever got the high hand, roll with them. You know what I'm saying? And just ride with the high hand, man. You gotta ride with the high hand. Whoever got the high hand, split the carries, give them probably about 13 apiece, and whoever got the high hand from there, ride with the high hand for the rest of the game until, you know what I'm saying, at least give them about 30, at least run the ball about 30 times a game, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to be a heavy run team instead of keep passing the damn ball all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we see anyway. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense for us to be sitting up there. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to run the ball when we got the lead in the game. You know what I'm saying?
God, I love this.
We was beating the hell out of Washington. Man, we beating the hell out of Washington. We still throwing the ball in the fourth quarter and stuff. Man, run the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even running them people, man. We ain't running Pollard or Zeke in the fourth quarter in them games. We won't even running the backup there. You know what I'm saying? We be throwing the ball too much, man. You know what I'm saying? They keep talking, and now they coming out talking about this man falling off and all this, man. Them people tripping. But they definitely need to get the ball more to Zeke and Pollard, man. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? And Pollard led the league in yards average per rush 2 years in a row. So he definitely needs the ball more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's all I had for you today, bro.
Man, shoot. Great call. What's your name, dog?
This Blackwell. Blackwell, I be messaging you in the inbox and stuff on the book.
Blackwell? Okay. Man, you from the 504?
Huh?
You got that strong Louisiana accent. You from the 504?
I can't even hear you, bro.
You from Louisiana?
They don't come in Saturday, bro.
All right, I'm gonna have to fix my phone system. Hey, I'm gonna take another call, but man, appreciate the call, dog.
I bet.
All right, man, that was a good call. See, I gotta go with his point. I got to go with his point. See, I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it. I was saving this for another show, but I gotta do this now. All right, so he raised a hellified case when he was talking about them Panthers, right? So, and I already got the data on this, man. It is crazy, all right? So, week 3, right, people, because, you know, it's a debate amongst Cowboy fans on who should be the featured back. That's why I was getting into the details of why you can't trust averages. Because if you listen to the analytical case that's been made by the, I would say, the analytical nerds, they saying, oh, just look at the averages. Look how many yards they average per carry, and that should tell you who should start. Well, if that's the case, Joseph Randle should have been starting over DeMarco Murray. But when you look at the whole skill sets of running backs, right, it's a lot different. And you got to look at how certain running backs are used in situations. And this was week 3. This is just what he was talking about. Week 3 where Zeke took over. This is healthy Zeke. But see, you can't tell me if you're using your common sense. Just use your common sense. What would happen to Pollard's average if he was a closeout back? What does that mean, a closeout back? So when you got a game secured, most teams are going to run the ball to close out a game. But their defense also knows that, so they are selling out to stop the run, making it harder to run. So if you're a closeout back, you already going against a defense knowing that you getting ready to run at them. There's no mystery. So even being a closeout back like Zeke, who they go to close out games, that's gonna hurt your average. That's why you can't just look at averages to say who the best. Going back to my point, looking at Murray only averaged 4.71 yards. Randall is clearly better because, oh my God, 6.73.
Yoga fire.
He should have been starting over Murray. Well, if you listen to the analytical nerds, yeah, that's true. But when you really break it down, who was the close guy? Who was the guy that was in there on first down, on tough downs? Who was the guy doing the hard grunt dog job versus Seattle? Who was the guy coming in there fresh after a defense was worn down? Randall. So is it a coincidence why you sometimes see the number 2 back having a better average than the number 1 back? See, when we measuring Kool-Aid, you got to look at all the factors. You can't just come with an average or expect it. Oh, this person performed over expectation, so why don't everybody see that? Well, because it's not as black as white as what y'all claim. What is the situation that the guys are being used in? I guarantee if you switched it and you featured Pollard first and you allowed Zeke to come in fresh, I guarantee his average would explode and Pollard's would go down. If you said, Pollard, we go use you to close out this game. All right, so hold on. Sadiq crazy. Sadiq, I know you got me, girl. I ain't tripping. But I'm gonna come back to that super chat. You funny. But anyway, but see, that's why we gotta really talk real football. That's why the whole title of the thumbnail, and it's a real question, or it's a real statement, the Ezekiel Elliott doubt is out of control. And it's gonna likely stay that way. Because most people, they not measuring this Kool-Aid correct. I'm just being honest. They got a little bit too much water. They need to add a little bit more to sugar to this Kool-Aid. They definitely do. My boy say, hold on. My boy say, hold on, Rick, let me show this real quick. He say, boss, I thought you wasn't dropping content this weekend. Thank you for blessing us. Yeah, after my boy D.A. Lee sent me that, I was like, I got to talk about that. Because see, I'm trying to get the nation ready for what's going to be happening pretty much all off season on Zeke. And it's going to go into the season, right? And I want us to be able to look at this from a measured perspective. That's real important to me, that we are measured as a fan base and that we actually look at this stuff in context and not emotion.
Yoga fire.
So, yeah. So, I mean, according to the stat nerds, Randall was a better running back than DeMarco Murray. See, that's why nobody would ever debate me on this. Everybody that got them weird theories about running back, the people that got these theories like you never pay a running back, you never draft a running back in the first round, these weird cookie cutter, one size fit all theories, you know. And my boy Richard say, boss, Zeke days are over. I mean, I would want to know why you say that, big dog. I mean, I would want to know what's that based on, you know, because I'm telling you also what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's also going on with some of these Cowboy fans. I'm gonna be all the way honest. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. What's going on with some of these Cowboy fans is they got massive ass egos, and they still trying to be right on Ramsey versus Zeke. And they waiting on Zeke to fall off a cliff so they can say, see, we should have drafted Ramsey. I swear to God. But because you really do have Cowboy fans that sometimes, I'm not saying you are, Richard, But some of these Cowboy fans are literally rooting against Zeke to be right. Then there's some people that's rooting against Zeke because they mad over the holdout and the money that because a lot of times when our players get paid, there's a lot of envy that comes with when they're paid. And that's facts. Yeah. And see, because this is how you know it's envy. Let Dak have a bad game. They don't say Dak had a bad game. They say Mr. $40 million quarterback had a bad game. Like they paying them or something. But anyway, if that is you, don't be that type of Cowboy fan. I would say grow up if that's you. We actually was right not to draft Ramsey. I'm glad we didn't draft Ramsey, because if we would have drafted Ramsey, we likely wouldn't have Diggs now. Give me Diggs over Ramsey. Yeah, I said it. Give me what we got in the second round, which would have been a top 4 pick all day long. Give me a guy that's going to get you 6 to 10 interceptions a year versus a guy that got a good name, but that also get cooked. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so let me address this. That's why I said I wanted to measure the kool-aid, because everybody ain't hating. Some people just got strong opinions, right? And this gives us a chance to just discuss it, right? So like Richard said, I'm just looking at year to year. Each year, it has been a regression. So if you got a second, let me pull up something that you might not know. That just like it's been a regression in yards, guess what else it has been a major regression in? Running the football. His touches is also way down.
Yoga fire.
So some of y'all might not notice, but Zeke last year in 17 games had less touches than what he had in 2017, and he was suspended 6 games. So if you just look at production and don't look at the context of why, yeah, you'll want him out of here. But if you look at the full context of why his production is down, his touches are way down. Way down. We are running the ball way less. And matter of fact, when we was winning our games and we was 6-1, we was running the hell out the ball the first 7 games. Hold on real quick. Jay, I got you on that super chat, bro. I'm gonna put that in the queue. I'm gonna address all of those. Matter of fact, let me just address that one now. I'm gonna just address that one. All right, my boy Q say, bro, I think Cowboy fans are force-fed narratives that look good on surface. We need strong content providers like you. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do, because, you know, some people don't know better. And it's they don't mean well. Like Richard. Richard came in and he's sincerely telling the truth. It's a factual statement. He said that his production is down. But you gotta measure that Kool-Aid. You literally gotta measure it. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. Because if you don't measure that Kool-Aid, they will have you shooting slugs at our best warriors. Yeah, I said that. They will have us shooting slugs at the guys who give it up the best. Okay, hold on real quick. And see, this is how you know Richard is not hating. This is a true fan. This is not some guy that's hating on Zeke. This is a guy that have a strong opinion. And he said, I hope you're right, boss, because trust me, I want to get the physicality back and get the run game back. Exactly. So I don't want you to hope. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to it. But everybody, y'all got to be patient because this is live. So I don't want him to trust me. I want to show him. I'm going to show him Zeke's touches and attempts. And I'm going to show you, bro. I'm going to show you that it's way down. And what I told you was a fact. It wasn't made up because I already looked at this, you know, and I'm not trying to show you up or nothing. That's not the aim. I just measure the Kool-Aid and I want facts. Give me 1 second. Ezekiel Elliott stats. I'm pulling it up now. Give me 1 second. Oh, man, it's going to be cakewalk. All right, it's right here. This is perfect. Perfect. Oh, this is a shame. This is perfect though. Check this out. Boom. All right. So all I did was look up Ezekiel Elliott's stats. All right. What did I say? I said in 2017, when he was suspended for 6 games, he had more touches than he did in 2021. Did I lie? Did I lie? Huh? I didn't lie. Told you the truth. Yeah. So if you giving me way less touches than you was giving me in 2016, that's like almost 80 to 90 less touches. That's why you go see a major reduction in yardage. Yeah, if we decide to run the ball, you go see a restoration of Mr. Ezekiel Elliott, as long as he's healthy. Period. I'm telling y'all the truth because I looked at this. I've truly measured the Kool-Aid. This is not a Zeke fanboy show. This is not me trying to show up the fan. That's not the aim. The aim is to have accurate information out there so that when we hear stuff, we measuring it by the full context of what's happening in the game of football. That's the value of this show, and that's what we do. So let me keep going.
I think
What's the bigger crime?
using Zeke. Yeah. Because, you know, that to me shows, because I think a lot of guys could come in and have pretty good success. Maybe not Pollard's level of success.
They never lost a game when he's had more than
See that theory right there? See, it's a lot of people that had that theory. Anybody can come in here and do what Zeke is doing. Listen, it's only 3 running backs so far in the history of football that's on the pace of Zeke. See, there are narratives built out there. There's these narratives that's sitting out there, and it's not factual that any running back can come in here. No, because think about it. Because it's a massive devaluing of the running back position, and I'm telling y'all, there are exceptions to every position. There are exceptions, and when you get an exceptional talent, you treat them as such. Zeke is an exceptional talent, even just on the durability mixed with the physicality.
10 carries in the game.
Pollard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think it's Pollard, because it's not, see, to me, I mean, there are numbers and things to look at. There are metrics to look at, like the rushing yards over expectation, to say Zeke is bad. But when you still get down to, hey, 4.2 yards per carry from a raw standpoint, it's not terrible. It's not that Zeke is terrible. It's not that having Zeke on the field is such an indictment to every running back that's ever played football. Oh my God, this guy's unwatchable. The problem is Pollard's so much better than him, so you leaving Pollard on the sideline is the bigger issue. It's not that Zeke is so terrible when he's on the field. It's just that you're leaving a guy on the sideline that is clearly better than him. So Pollard being off the field, to me, is the bigger problem.
I feel the same way. I mean, I think the indictment of continue to play Zeke is big. But if you tell me a guy is going to average more yards per carry, we find a way to win more games with him on the field.
We should have started Joseph Randle.
Yoga fire.
Damn it. We would have went to the Super Bowl if we would have started Joseph Randle over DeMarco Murray because of the average was so much greater. Everybody knows better than that. Everybody that's watching, we only had one person say Randle was better than DeMarco Murray. I can show you right now a whole bunch of number 2 running backs that have higher averages than the number 1 running back. Because it's more than data. The game is more than just, oh, his averages is higher, start him. If you fall for that, then you just missed this show. But if you watching this show, you should never fall for that again. Never. You don't just say, oh, okay, let me show you. So if Zeke's so bad, he would have easily been a rushing champ in 2017 if he would have played all 16 games and he wasn't suspended. His average was higher in 2021. Do anybody see the contradiction?
Yoga fire.
So he's supposed to be bad because he averaging 4.2. But in 2017, when he was clearly on pace to be the rushing champ, easily on pace, he was at 4.1. When did we go figure out that 4.1, 4.2, or anything over 4 is not bad?
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
It's just what it is, man. So if his average is higher, we got to find a way to play Randle more. You see the contradiction? That's why we started the show with the trivia. Yeah, that's why we started with the trivia. I also asked y'all as a trivia question, who was better out of Marion Barber and Felix Jones? It was more people that said Marion Barber. So this is Marion Barber, right? If you look at his average, you'll say, especially in 2008, you say, ooh, you was only 3.7. Felix Jones in 2008 was 8.9. 8.9. Ooh. But he was splitting carries. He was splitting carries, but was 8.9. Yeah. I'll turn the music down, Sadiq. I ain't gonna turn it off. He get me in my zone. I'll turn it down though for you. All right. Yeah. And see, and it's what you said, Jay Jones. It's exactly what you said. Hold on, man. Let me find it. Yeah, it's right here. This is the key. I turned it down for you, Sadiq. All right. That's the key right there, what Jay Jones said. Marion was the closer. That's the key. When you look at the situations and where they was used, you'll see why one had clearly a better average than the other. Because we know Marion Barber was the closer. How many of us remember those tough yards that Marion was known for? Closing out games. Huh? You telling me that didn't hurt his average? Huh? That's why you can't go by average. You got to look at the situations and how they're used. Oh, man, good point, Richard. I like this. But Richard, you going hard. I like Richard. Richard is going, this is true too. This is true. He said, I will say this, boss. Ever since the Cowboys got rid of and let go of Ron Leary, the run game has not been the same with the Cowboys.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Agree. And that's also why we missed a major opportunity in not moving Lyle to left guard. We likely messed up our whole season by not moving him to left guard. A lot of people not going to admit that because it got caught up in, people trying to be right and save face and all that kind of stuff. But we should have easily moved Lyle to left guard by week 7, week 8. That should have been exactly what we should have done. And that would have greatly helped us and likely continued that running dominance that we was having. I'm going to prove that in a future show. I'm gonna prove that. Man, I'm gonna go so deep on that, man. All right, let me finish this though. Here we go.
When he does play, or when he gets 10 or more carries, why would you not? I mean, I think that's the bigger indictment, because I can see where Gavin was talking about Jerry. He's absolutely right. Jerry's not going to take the TV star off the set.
Yeah.
You know. But how could you not, as coaches, how could you? And this is the last chance for Tony Pollard, if you want to be honest.
Yeah.
Because after this, he's going to be gone.
And that's the annoying part, is it's not even like, hey, take Zeke off the field, bench him. We don't want to see him anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, let's even things up a little bit. It's not like Zeke can't still be your starter. It's not like we still can't see Zeke on a Sunday to Sunday basis in a Cowboys uniform, carrying the football, scoring goal line touchdowns. But give us more. It's maddening. It is maddening, and I guess it goes to the front office, but your coaching staff, I guess, doesn't have the balls to put up a fight, or they're too dumb to see it. And I just can't fathom that they're too dumb to see it.
Either way, it's not good, but I think leaving Zeke in there underscores one of the major fundamental problems with the organization, which is taking away the business of football from winning games. Yeah. And, it's something they really got to take a look in the mirror on. All right, it is a fart storm, if you ask me, Brian.
That was a fart storm. Hey, and I'm always be Fred of the fan. I have the full interview in the description, so make sure that y'all give it a click and a like, because obviously we using the content to make the bigger case on Zeke. But if it wasn't for the fan, it wouldn't be a show on this today. And sometimes, you can disagree with people, but I don't have to be disagreeable. I don't have to assume that they have all these motives. I just don't agree with the take. I don't think that you look at averages to decide who's the better running back. I think you got to look at averages mixed with the situations in which they're used, against the opponents that they're facing, the freshness on how they're used, the amount of reps they was getting. Because, of course, if you look at somebody, if that's all it took is let's play the guy with the better average, then the person that would have been the best back of all time would have been Felix Jones. And we know that's not the case. Felix Jones, according to averages, would have been the best running back to ever play the game. He was averaging 8.9 per touch. So going back to this, and I'm going to take some calls. Is the doubt out of control? Man, yeah, that doubt is way out of control, man. It's way out of control. All right, so I'm going to open up the phone lines real quick. I'm going to give y'all a chance to call in this time. Give me 1 second. Boom. All right, so I got the call lines open. And then, it's freestyle. We ain't got to talk about Zeke. If y'all want to change the subject, we can change the subject too. I'm ready to talk about anything Cowboy related. But if y'all don't call in, I'm gonna end the show. But yeah, so we got the call lines open at 941-942-2100. But I will say this as I'm waiting on y'all to call in. I will say this. I think it's fair to give Zeke and all our guys, especially Zeke, a healthy amount of optimism. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Oh, what's going on, brother?
What's up? Who's this?
This is Coach Moore, man.
What's up, Coach? You sound different.
Man. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This narrative is this narrative about Ezekiel Elliott and this Tony Pollard thing. Your average balls is going to be higher if you got less carries in the color big run.
Right.
This is not. My question is this: were they saying this when Zeke was running for 100 and some yards and dominating running the ball in the 6-game winning streak?
No.
This is a narrative by people that we think are Cowboy fans, but want to start controversy because they want to get you off of the things that they know that you are successful with. and they want you to go to something else to kill your success. This was started by ESPN throwing something out there that they say that and these people are not Cowboy fans, so they're not talking in the best interest of the Cowboys. They're looking at the same thing that we're looking at and says, if they run the ball with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott and they're committed, they're unbeatable. But if they do what they've been doing when they go away from them, they're beatable, and we don't want them to have that philosophy, so we want them to do something that they lose games with. Listen here. Think about all the rumors that start. All these crazy things start by somebody at ESPN throwing out something, and we know that they're not Cowboy fans. So they start a fire. We jump on it, and we run with it, and then when it doesn't work, then we look around and we say, well, that's what ESPN said. Of course they're going to say that. Are they going to tell you that the Cowboys are 30-0 when they run the ball more than they pass the ball? Has anybody talked about that on ESPN?
No.
Or any other nation, other sports?
Some of them actually do. Go ahead.
Yoga fire.
When Ezekiel Elliott has between 60 and 17 carries in a game, that they win 80% of the game. I'm not saying that Tony Pollard shouldn't be a running back, shouldn't get carries. But if you want to get him touches, put him in the passing game. Put him on the field.
Keep going, Coach. Keep going.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you want him in the game, you want him to have touches. If you want him in the game, yes, I do believe that he should have his touches. Yeah. But let's remember something about Tony Pollard. And this would just be the truth. Tony Pollard has never been a 20 carry back, probably since he was in high school. He's always been a guy that had less carries and made more out of his carries. There is a difference in running backs when the guys are a workhorse or the guys are change of pace. Do you remember the game that Ezekiel did play last year against San Francisco?
Yeah.
Tony Pollard had the ball. He had one run for 45 yards and a touchdown, and on the other 10 carries, he got 30 yards.
Right. Yeah. So it boosted his average. I'm with you. Yeah, it boosted his average. But then if you look at him as effectively,
this is all about if you put Tony Pollard at running back, this is all about getting away from the running game, because this philosophy says we're going to put Tony Pollard in there, and this is the philosophy I think the Cowboys are and that Kellen Moore is all about. We expect the running back, when we hand the ball off, you get 50 or 60 yards or a 20-yard run, or if you don't get a 20-yard run, it's a good run. We don't need to run it. All running plays are not home runs. So their philosophy is put Tony Pollard back there so he can get 10, 11 yards of carry, and we still have to get him the ball over 10 times, 11 times, and we can throw the ball 45, 50 times. Ooh. And then we could say we ran the ball. We commitment to the running game, controlling the clock. This is not about a Zeke or Tony Pollard type thing. This is about utilizing both of them to the abilities that they have, and knowing that if you have a possibly a Hall of Famer back there. As I said last week, same thing about C.D. Lamb, I'm going to say about Ezekiel Elliott. Cut the Cowboy fans that want to see what happens. All the people out there say he done, let this 26-year-old, 27-year-old guy go someplace else and see what happens. And this running game it's not Ronald Leary that stopped this running game. I'm on the road traveling, coming back from out of town, and I caught your show. But it's not Ronald Leary. It's been Kellen Moore that has sabotaged this running. Our running attempts since Kellen Moore has taken over the offensive coordinator has gone down every year since he has taken over. And no, we did not make a mistake by not putting Lyle Collins at guard. The reason why Lyle Collins won that guard is already been proven. He balked at going at guard. He did not want to go back to guard.
Man, no, we messed up on that, Coach. Messed up.
Listen to me. The reason why that's true, because he's not going to be starting at left and right tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to left tackle. He never wanted to go back to guard.
When do players get to decide what's best for the team?
Boss, that's why he ain't in Dallas.
Gotcha.
Because he was going to, if he was willing, he would have been at guard. But he did not want to go to guard. He felt he was a tackle, and that's where he wanted to stay because he wanted to play a tackle. And that's why, because Steele was going to play right tackle, and the only place he could play was guard, and that's why he fell out of love, and they said, you got to go there.
Well, we suffered for it. Shit. I mean, you know. And then I would say the breakdown of the running game was the fact that we stopped. I ain't going to get into that. That's another subject. I'm going to save that one. What else you got, Coach?
Yeah, but like I said, fellas, people, if we're just jumping, again, we're jumping on our players because we're listening to people at ESPN, Fox News, Fox Sports, all these people who are not Cowboys fans that know what you do best, and they're trying to get you off of what you do best because they never talk about things that you win with. They talk about because you're doing the same thing that you have problems losing with and trying to make issues for you to do that so you can fail. And then at the end, they'll come back and say, well, they don't run the ball, and they could use Zeke to get all that money. They could. Don't fall for the kool-aid. Yes, 30 carries a game for this Cowboys. I don't care if it's 15-15. Because if you give these guys 15 carries apiece, both of them will have great average, and both of them will do very well.
Yeah.
But not 16, not 12 like you. Who got the ball in the San Francisco game? They ain't have a 12 carries between them. 12. Arizona, 15.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Tampa Bay, 17.
Oh, God.
Kansas City, 18. Between the two.
See, Kellen Moore go get everybody fired. I'm serious. Kellen Moore go get everybody fired.
But you know something, boss? People think when you run the football, you have to have a home run. If it ain't no big, long 70-yard run or 20-yard run, oh, man, that's an unsuccessful run. Sometimes a 3-yard run is a good run.
Yeah.
This is the NFL, people. Tough yards are hard to come by.
Yeah.
And you got two great backs. And I guarantee you, if you was a trade, I would guarantee you there's probably 27 teams in this league where trade would say, give us your Cowboy running backs and you take ours, and they would take them.
Right.
And they would use Tony Pollard as a weapon and Zeke as a weapon.
Facts.
This is crazy, man. And listen here. They nobody talk about LVE's production. What you talking about getting paid? Let's look at him. We ain't talking about taking him off the field. That's who you should cut.
Oh man, yeah, coach.
Zeke did more with a torn PCL than this guy did healthy all year.
Facts. A torn PCL since week 4, and they say he's below average, and he still got 1,000 yards.
Yoga fire.
Still got 1,000 yards. And we crying about the money. People, we ought to be celebrating guys that's getting this money, and they giving us their service every week, week in and week out, and they ain't complaining or sitting.
Right. Yeah. He ain't complaining or sitting. Facts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, man, boss, as I tell you, man, you always do a great job, man. I knew you was gonna come out. That's why I gave you a call earlier today, because I saw this coming out, but I knew you would attack it.
Oh, you did?
Just the smoke screens to get around everybody else, but they need to get on the person they need to get on and utilize these backs in the right way. Tony Pollard and Zeke in the backfield at the same time, and let Tony Pollard at least get 50 catches this year, and there'll be more room for Zeke to run and CeeDee Lamb to catch.
Facts. Let me address that, Coach, man, because, yeah, you will.
All right.
All right, thank you for the call.
All right,
Coach.
man.
All right.
All right, brother.
That was Coach Moore. All right. I got to take this comment real quick. He said, do we need to put some blame on Dak because he changed a lot of plays? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, big bro. I don't do blame. I do reasons. I do facts. I don't do blame. See, when you do blame, you looking for people to just kind of point fingers at. I really try to look at the real cause, and then I attack the cause, right? So I don't do blame. I'm not expecting Dak to be the offensive coordinator and quarterback at the same time, even though that might be what it's going to take, sadly. But I ain't looking at that. I'm looking at the guy that the 5 Hall of Famers pointed directly at. That's not blame. That's cause. Michael Irvin specifically talked about Kellen Moore. Specifically. And talked about how our system is designed to feature our role players and make our stars role players. And make our role players stars. Called out Kellen Moore. So did Aikman, Emmett, Jimmy Johnson, and Kurt Warner did a film breakdown on the flaws systems of Kellen Moore, where he was calling the offense into cover 4 with vertical concepts, which is playing into the teeth of the defense. Why would I blame anybody? It's not blame. It's who is the person and what system is letting us down. And sadly, it's likely not even all Kellen. Most of this, I think, is coming from Stephen Jones, who has a desire to have a system that allows him to stay cheap on paying players. That's why when they asked him directly, why did Cooper not get the ball? Everybody that follows Boss Cowboy Sports know the answer. He said, it's our system.
Yoga fire.
And then y'all got a peep game. It's not stopping. It has now turned to CeeDee Lamb. I showed y'all that on the last show where I talked about the doubt that front office is allegedly showing in CeeDee Lamb, where they talked to Bobby Belt, and he said unanimously they would say that he does not have alpha energy. First of all, what in the world is some freaking alpha energy? Because at this point, I feel like our front office so toxic, no receiver will ever fit Dallas. Think about it. Dez, he's too much to the point he's a distraction. T.O., he's too much. Cooper, he's not enough of an alpha. CeeDee Lamb, he doesn't have alpha energy. Bro, who do you want? The only person that can play receiver for the Dallas Cowboys is Jesus Christ. That's it. You have to have the perfect temperament. You have to know when to ask for the ball, fight for the ball, be quiet when you need to. You can't win when it's not you. Some of us been in toxic relationships. If you ever been in a toxic relationship, it wasn't you. It was the other person. Because that's what they doing to Cooper now. Was he a dog? And then they got the playmaker coming out. He didn't have that. See, now we talking about personalities. Alpha energy. What the? Come on, bro. When we talking about demeanors, how about how do they play? See, we all know that we've all been around what I would call silent killers, right? The type of people, they don't talk a lot, but fight them if you want to. They go drop you with ease, but they don't talk a lot. They don't have this Dez alpha energy, but they got real fight game. They can really fight, but they quiet. They sit in the back. They didn't talk a lot. That's what Cooper was. He was the silent assassin. So nobody can fit the temperament of, nobody has the perfect temperament for Dallas, because guess what? It's not the receivers. It's the owners who don't want those types. They want to devalue the position. Talking about alpha energy. Alpha energy. They don't think he has alpha energy. No. Your system does not target playmakers. That's why you see Zeke not getting the ball, like Coach Moore was talking about, with the appropriate amount of touches. Same with Pollard. Same with Cooper. That's why Cooper had to come out and talk about, I can help this team more on third downs and the red zones if y'all target me. He had to basically beg for this system to look his way because it was giving Schultz all the attention.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Yeah. And see, the problem is it ain't too many channels that's telling you the truth on this stuff. It ain't too many channels that's telling you specifically what's going on. It's a lot of channels that they looking for blame. They want to blame this person or that person or this player. That's why you're seeing stuff like, does Dak need to do better? Does Zeke need to step up? Because he is getting all this money. See, that's the type of content you're getting out there in other places. I've been pointing at the specific issue since Arizona, and it's been Kellen Moore and Stephen Jones. And Stephen Jones, I guarantee you, is pushing down this flawed philosophy of thinking that a system is going to trump playmakers. I don't believe it is. I think it's artificial fool's gold. I think it's going to work against weaker opponents, but when you come up against a dog team, it's going to fall right flat on his face. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, Boss, this is Black man. I had to call back, bro.
Let's go.
Y'all want to know how dumb Kellen Moore is?
Oh,
Came
man.
back to that San Francisco game. The one drive where we drove downfield with ease, we mixed in the run. We was running the ball, and we drove downfield with ease. You know what I'm saying? Seemed like, you know what I'm saying? And another thing of how dumb he is, like, every time we play at home and they had a dome open, you know what I'm saying? And the sun be shining through, we get in the middle of the field he be having them, he be designing plays for the half passes thrown across the middle of the field where the receivers be blinded at right there and stuff. Like, that's the time you should run some type of trick plays or something. You know what I'm saying? Or run the ball right there. You know what I'm saying? Because the defenders, they seeing the sun shining in their eyes too. Like, this man be designing plays for the half, you know what I'm saying, and throw the ball right at the receiver so our receivers could turn around and look up at the, you know what I'm saying, look back and have the sun blinding them so they can't even catch the ball neither. Like, that shit be dumb. Like, I don't get why he be, you know what I'm saying, why he do stuff like that. Like, the man just don't be, I don't know, man. That man just be calling anything sometimes. You look at him on the sideline when the camera looks, you know what I'm saying, shine on him when we be losing in the game or something, or it be a close game, you know what I'm saying? He just be going away from the run game. It be a close game. He go away from the run. When you don't even got to, he just be throwing the hell out the ball and stuff, man. The man just, he don't got it, bro. The man, you know what I'm saying, they need to get rid of him, bro. We talk about everybody else that we need to get rid of except for him and players like LVE and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That don't just be crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, that don't just be crazy, man. That's all I had for you, bro.
Man, I appreciate it. Bro. No, I appreciate it, man. Glad you called back, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, big dog, man. See, that's why I love freestyles, man. That's honestly, freestyle is my favorite because, see, y'all always come in and y'all add that sauce every time. I always get good sauce from y'all. All right, here come another one. Boss Cowboy Sports.
What's up, boss? This T Smooth, man.
Let's get it. What's up, T?
What's up? I just want to talk about a few things. And this one thing I'm about to talk about, I don't hear nobody talking about this guy. I don't think he's getting enough hype. But can we talk about Malik Hooker for a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. Freestyle. Go.
Malik Hooker is the best free safety we done had since
Barry Church.
Barry Church?
Well, Barry was a strong. So you said best free safety? I don't know.
Right. But like I got Malik Hooker getting about 6 picks this year, man.
I can definitely see it.
But what better safety? Malik Hooker and Curse. What other safeties we done had that are better duo than them two?
Oh man, you asked some good questions. A better duo?
That's what I wanted to say, because those guys right there, Malik Hooker, man, that boy get the sideline to sideline, man. He's a real free safety, the one we've been looking for the longest.
Yeah.
The safeties we had before, in my opinion, we using 2 strong safeties, man, for years.
Yeah.
Jeff Heath, Xavier Woods.
Oh, God.
Will Cox. You know.
You're giving me nightmares, man. Stop
He
all
was
that.
always used, in my opinion, he was always using strong safeties instead of, a real free safety, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
I think we finally got that, the safeties we wanted. If we can keep these safeties for the next 3 to 4 years right here, I think we'll be straight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I ain't worried about the defense, man, actually. Do you hear me talking about the defense?
You said what?
I say you don't never hear me talking about the defense.
Right.
Ain't got no problem with our D. Shoot, we good. We good. I'm super cool on D. But, man, appreciate the call, bro. I definitely feel you on Malik, for sure.
Yeah, 100.
100. All right. I'm going to call Douglas. I see Douglas. I recognize your number, man. Let me get you in here real quick. Let me see if I can make an outbound call. All right, here we go.
Please leave your message for 901.
Almost gave up your whole number right there. But just real quick, man. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports.
My man.
What's up with it?
It's Brooks, man. What's going on?
I know. What's up? I know you ready to rip Kellen Moore.
Man,
Go ahead.
Look, appreciate you, first of all. I heard that you shouted me out when my mom passed, and I want to thank you for that. I didn't know that, but somebody, I think it was Coach Moore who told me that. So I appreciate you and all the guys praying for me. And my family. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but you did, and I thank you for that.
No problem.
Let me say this, because this is what I've been kind of pushing on myself.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, man, you already addressed it. I believe Coach Moore on here probably, so he already know where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Man, look, we can do all the analysis, we can do all the stats that you've done, and you do an incredible job at that. But the bottom line is, Kellen Moore is the problem. He is. He's a finesse offensive coordinator who still, number one, hasn't figured out how to put Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the backfield at the same time. He still ain't figured that out yet. So let's just start with it. Everybody knows there's a matchup problem. He has not done that yet. He hasn't taken advantage of the skill set of the players. He's a finesse offensive coordinator who we are, as a fan base, asking him to be physical. It's not in him. How many more years do we got to see this? It's not a coincidence that, the amount of carries Ezekiel Elliott gets, the amount of carries that Pollard gets. It's not a coincidence that we're still complaining as a fan base about the same thing. We're begging him to run the football. You done had all-pro linemen. You done had Pro Bowl linemen. And he still will not make a commitment to running the football. So I don't know. We're asking for something that just is not going to meet. Is not going to happen. That was fool's gold those couple weeks when we ran the ball like crazy last week, and he turned back into his regular self, which is being finesse, which is making Dak Prescott throw the football 35 plus times a game. That's him. That's where he came from with Matthew Stafford and Megatron, when Scott Linehan was his offensive coordinator. Scott Linehan was his offensive coordinator when he became a player here in Dallas. That's all he knows is throwing the football. He saw Tony Romo throw the football nonstop. The 1 year DeMarco Murray got ran into the ground, that was fool's gold because that was just 1 year. We're asking for something that's really not in him. That's what the frustration is. We have the players, but the coaching staff does not fit the skill set. It does not. We got physical ball players with a finesse offensive coordinator. What do you expect? I mean, I don't know what else we need to see. We've seen it for too long. So we really are dependent that the talent level overrides the play call. In other words, we need a 5-yard slant to turn to 65 yards. That's the only way we're going to really see it because he's not a grinded out offensive coordinator. That's what I've been saying. I mean, good Lord, for months and years. So, I mean, this is no surprise to me. Tony Pollard, as well as he played last year, and I'm not saying that he's supposed to get the ball over Ezekiel, but my goodness, 4 carries in the playoff game? Come on, man. 4 touches in the playoff game? When right here in Memphis he was used like Deebo Samuel was used. I live here in Memphis. I saw Tony Pollard play in Memphis. He was Deebo Samuels. That's how we use him here in Memphis. He was lined up in the backfield. He lined up in the slot.
He lined up everywhere. We are not taking advantage of the skill set that we have. We just don't. And that's Kellen Moore, especially especially since I think it was McCarthy that said the one that installs the game plan is the one that calls the plays.
Yep.
Well, if that's the case, that's Kellen Moore. And I know you said earlier that you don't want to put blame, but in some cases, you got to do it. And Kellen Moore is the blame. And the fool's goal is we'll say, okay, but he has the number one offense in the league.
Yeah, that's fool's goal.
Okay, yeah, you do. But as you said, when it's time to get dirty, when it's time to get in the trenches, when it's time to get nasty, Kellen Moore is nowhere to be found, and his play call is nowhere to be found. That stuff look good against the Giants and the Jaguars and stuff like that. When you got to get down in the dirt, that finesse play calling ain't gonna work now. And you ain't been physical all year, with the exception of a few games, and you turn back into your old self. So I don't have too much confidence in Kellen Moore. That's all I got to say.
No, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna address this too. I'm telling you, y'all done laid it up for me. I got you. I promise you I'm finna address this in detail right now. All right?
All right,
all right, check this. That was Douglas with the Big Time Show. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on YouTube as well as on Facebook. All right. He also, he got a podcast too, but it's the Big Time Show. That's Douglas with the Big Time Show, Bishop Douglas. Now, I was going to talk about this later on this week, but I've already done the work for it now. Y'all heard them talk about how they used them at Memphis like a Debo Samuels. What's crazy is that was the title that I'm going to talk about Thursday on Pollard. When I tell you I already did the work, I've already done the work on this. It's just when am I going to debut this stuff? That's really what it's coming down to. When am I going to feature this? But he's right, because I've researched it all today, even more. Looking at how they used him at Memphis. And I was going to make the case that the Dallas Cowboys, to Pastor Douglas' point, Bishop Douglas, has stopped using him how he was used at Memphis. This is Memphis tape. I already did this today. And I was going to show this. I ain't going to show you all of it because you won't come back. But he's dead right. Pollard in space was a nut. And they don't do it. You see what Bishop was talking about, two backs in the backfield? That Memphis was doing that? And they was using Pollard on the passing game, and you see him exploding in space? This was constant at Memphis. He is not lying. He didn't make that up. That ain't him speaking in emotion. The film, the analysis, everything says that what he said was a fact. This is him running a flare right at Memphis and getting space. It's more than one way to use Pollard, and we not doing it. And to Bishop's point, I ain't gonna show all of it. I'm gonna come back to it. I ain't gonna get into that whole presentation. Y'all come back Thursday. Y'all come back Thursday. But man, I got the whole breakdown on this, because what's happening is Kellen Moore, and I'm just being honest, and obviously Bishop was being honest. The only thing I disagree with is that there's no hope for Kellen. I do believe that there's hope for Kellen, but I do think we have to do our part. We have to continue to push the ideas that we believe is going to make us better. It's hopeless if we do nothing. But as long as we have a voice and that there's a chance that the right people can hear this conversation, it has already been proven that a lot of people have their ear to Boss Cowboy Sports. It's already been proven that a lot of people have their ear to social media, period, with the podcast community and the content creators with the Dallas Cowboys. The shame would be to not share this content, to not like this content, because ain't it crazy that Bishop come in and he start talking about Memphis, and I got it already geared up to show a two-back system where they was using Pollard in a 2-back system at Memphis, running and catching the ball. I already got it ready to go. Yeah, that's Pollard right there. Yeah. So we obviously doing the work. Bishop obviously doing the work, right? I've obviously, because Bishop didn't know. Bishop had no idea that I already had that ready to go. He didn't know that I was saving that to Thursday, but I already got it ready to go. And the only reason I haven't unleashed it because I got more videos that I'm going to unleash before that one. That's all about helping us win. So it is hope. It's hope. It's hope as long as we don't quit. Because this is the thing. We can't be the type of fans that's like, oh, man, it ain't no hope. Nah, I mean, because we wouldn't accept that from the players. We wouldn't want the players to quit, so why would I quit? Why would I quit putting the pressure on them on ideas that I believe go make us better? Why would any of us? No, it's hope. We just got to keep the pressure on. And we got to keep growing channels that get the word out there. Yeah. So let's do our part. That's the key to me. We got to do our part because we know our voice matter. How many times that we talk about something on the final word or talk about something on Boss Cowboy Sports and we see it everywhere? Yeah. If you look at the draft weekend, we had over 50 to 60,000 views. You don't think we influential as a combined group? And that's just us. That's me, Law, Big Game James, and the OC. Don't count the other brothers and sisters that's content creators. Our voice really do matter. So we just got to push this content. I'm not doing this for nothing. You think I'm doing this for nothing? Y'all think I'm making videos and breaking down Memphis concepts and all that kind of stuff for nothing? No. You think I'm showing the touches of Ezekiel Elliott for nothing? You think I'm really doing this whole breakdown because I think my voice don't matter and y'all voice don't matter? Our voice matter greatly. And we got to act like it. That's straight up. I mean that from the bottom of my whole heart. You know what I'm saying? So let's just put in the work. You know, and that's what we doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Also, while y'all sitting here, we got a lot of people watching right now. Let me take these super chats real quick because we got some super chats that's sitting in the cut. Let me take some of these super chats real quick. So, all right. So B-Bird, we got B-Bird. He got a good one in here. So I want to go to these super chats because I never want to miss those. So, and I like this comment. He said offensive issues. He said front office, number one, for hiring Kellen Moore. Number two, Kellen Moore, inexperience. And then number three, he said Dak Prescott, go along, get along, won't challenge play calling. I agree with all 3 points. Fantastic. Well said, B-Bird. Well said. I got to give you a yoga flame.
Yoga fire.
Another super chat. I want to take this one real quick because I'm now taking all the super chats that came in. He said, bro, I think Cowboys fans are force-fed narratives. I already took care of that one. This is Sadiqa. She funny. She said, yes, my brother fixed it, so I still got you. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she talking about that money. You owe me some money, girl. I'm gonna put that pressure on you. Yes, you do owe me. Nah, I'm messing with you. It's all good.
Fire.
Whenever you can get it, it's all good. No pressure. I see you, B-Bird. I see you called. I'm gonna call you right now.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
Okay, B-Bird, I'm going to try to call you one more time because I really love your super chat, so I know you're going to add to it. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, what's up, boss? It's B-Bird, man.
What's up?
Hey, nothing much, man. Hey, I was calling to talk a little bit about Kellen Moore, and I think he's catching a lot of heat, but and he should. But I think what the Cowboys did is they gave him a job that he wasn't yet qualified for. Is it his fault for taking the job? no, anybody would take the job. But it's the Cowboys' fault for offering him the job when he just didn't have any experience at it. And that's showing. I think last year Mike McCarthy left him out there, left him out there on his own. I 100% agree with Mike McCarthy doing that, because I think that with the Cowboys, they force-fed Mike McCarthy with Kellen Moore, and he's supposed to be his boy genius. And so Mike McCarthy basically said, hey, he the boy genius, let him figure it out if y'all think he's that good. I think that was the right approach, because now the Cowboys are more open to Mike McCarthy getting involved. Yep. Whereas he'd have got involved last year, they probably would have blamed him for the offense, to be totally honest with you. So it was nobody's fault last year as far as play calling, but it was on Kellen Moore. But really the Joneses are behind this whole thing, because they're trying to find their Sean McVay. Just as in Jason Garrett, they're trying to find a Sean Payton, And so I think Kellen Moore is inexperienced. But here's the deal: if SMU came right now, boss, and asked you to be head coach right now, and they say, hey, we want you to be the head coach, we're going to pay you $4 million a year, boss, you're not qualified for that job, but you're going to say,
yeah, taking it.
I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
And hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, if you get, I think what you got to have in place with a Kellen Moore, because I think what ends up happening is as the game gets tighter, his playbook gets smaller. Some of the creative things that he did at the start of the year, he wasn't doing no more. Say, what was this play call? He had called this early in the year. But what happens is, in a pinch, when things get tight, a player is going to go what he knows the most. A quarterback is going to throw the ball. If that's where he came from. He's a quarterback, he's going to throw the ball. A wide receiver is going to throw the ball. A defensive person, he's going to run it. He's going to be calling for the run. An offensive lineman going to run it. They're going to go to what they naturally, are more comfortable with when put under pressure. That's what Kellen Moore does. That's why I put in the chat that I think it's Schottenheimer. I think they hired him on to be the offensive and defensive to help out with those. With those categories. Consultant. But I think it's really for the offense, because the defense doesn't need it. But what he needs is a second, I think, quality control or something like that. But I think what he needs is Kellen Moore needs somebody there to pull his coat. Say, hey, man, look, you're throwing too much. Hey, you run, you're doing this too much. Hey, you're not attacking this side of the field. Hey, you're running this play way too many times. You get into a pattern of what you're doing. Somebody that can watch out for him and give him a little bit of critique, that is, of his offensive play calling. I'm not trying to go to bat for him. I'm just saying that he's put in a position way too soon. No different than Jason Garrett was put in a position of head coach way too soon, and they never earned those spots. They was put in those spots, and they were just hoping that they catch lightning in a bottle. They just never did. So yeah, Kellen is getting a lot of flack, man. But I just think that he's overmatched for the position that he was put in, to be honest with you, man. And so and again, what makes it look worse, if you had just to be real with you, had a Romo there, and you call some stupid plays, Romo said, I ain't running that.
Yep.
I'm not running that. We're gonna do this, and then it's gonna look good because he's bailing you out. But Dak he's gonna run exactly what you told him, whatever the play call, that's what he's running. And so it makes it look even worse because he's not bailing you out. So anyway, man, I just wanted to call and just comment a little bit on Kellen Moore, and I'll just listen to you a little bit more on YouTube, brother. I appreciate you taking my call.
Ain't no problem, B-Berg. Man, I was measured Kool-Aid. I ain't got nothing to add to that. I think he hit every point perfect. Every point perfect. I totally agree with every word that he said. I think it was very fair. The fact that, like, Kellen Moore is going to take that opportunity. You can't blame him for taking that opportunity. It is more of a, I just can't add to that, man. That's just perfect. I think he perfectly described the politics of this matter, the dilemmas of this matter. I think he was right. I think Mike McCarthy was right to allow Kellen Moore to hang himself, because this is the issue, and this is why it's so sad, and this is why B Bird is so right. If Mike McCarthy would have been hands-on last year, right, they wouldn't have known who to point at. See, then Aikman them would have been talking at Mike McCarthy. But because, and it's also truly his style. That's why it's not fair to him. Because he said, this is what Mike McCarthy said. He said, when it come down to my coordinators, if you install it, you calling it. Now, I give input, but I need y'all to have faith in what you installing. And I'm hands off after I give you input because I need you to have belief in your plan. That's his system of running his men. It works for Dan Quinn. Anybody notice that? Anybody complaining about that? Matter of fact, Micah Parsons said, I hardly ever even talk to Mike McCarthy. That's how hands off he is and allows Dan Quinn to be the face of the defense. So it's working on the defense, but you got to hold this other guy's hand. And you've been forced to hold his hand, even though that's against your managerial style. So if I have to hold your hand, then likely you're not qualified for what you're doing because the other side of the ball don't need no help. You got a man over there. Am I tripping? But over here, we gotta just listen to Bobby Belt and what he said 3 days ago. He said the front office want Mike McCarthy hands-on so they can know exactly what he does. So they can know, like, who to blame. No, who to blame is already obvious. It's the person that 5 Hall of Famers called out. So, it's just what it is, man. But obviously, y'all keep y'all notifications on, man. I'm going to be dropping a whole lot of content this week. I'm just telling y'all get ready. You know, y'all been asking for stuff on Story Jackson. That's done. I'm releasing that tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you everything I'm going to drop, but I got a lot of videos that I'm dropping that's all about us winning. All right. But a lot of y'all by demand been like, boss, we want a film breakdown on Story. So that's done. So I already got that queued up and it's going to be, you know, I'm going to feature that tomorrow, but I'm featuring all kind of solutions all week from the defense to the offense. I might even get into some special teams. I'm telling you, I'm dead serious about this, man. And the one that I'm most excited about is the Pollard one. Because I painted that so clear. Oh, my God. Because most people talk about Deebo Samuels. It's not even about just Deebo Samuels and a comparison to Deebo Samuels. It's really who Pollard is as a football player. And this is the best way. Oh, I'm going to take some super chats. Because Coach Marv, he loading it up. I got to take these super chats. But real quick, it's not even about Pollard as the running back. What people getting it wrong is Pollard is just a pure football player. There are certain people that are pure football players like Deebo. But who they should also compare him to that nobody doing
Yoga fire
is Patterson. Because you can put Patterson at receiver. You can put him in running back. You can put him in kickoff return. He's going to be electric wherever you put him. You see what I'm saying? So if you look around the league and you look at different systems of how did they use pure football players and see, I'm doing this breakdown because Coach Marv was like, boss, he sent me a text. He was like, boss, you need to talk about Pollard catching. I'm like, say no more. The only thing I sent him back was good idea. And I went to work. I went to work. I said, I'm going to show it because it's in my mind, but it's better when you can show it, when you can show the systems of how people use them. That's why what Bishop said was so on point. He said at Memphis, they was using them like Deebo. He right. All the way down to a 2-back system. Everything that he said. You can see it. 2 backs right there. You know, you can see it. It's just what it is. So let me take these super chats real quick. If y'all want to get these super chats in, y'all better get it in now, because I'm gonna take these. All right, here we go. All right, so Coach Marv, he got the super chat. Let me see. All right, so on the first one, he said, while we are waiting for Kellen to grow up into the right kind of OC this team needs, he can lose the confidence of offensive players, then nothing will work. That's just true. And they talking about that CeeDee Lamb got don't have alpha energy. All that's that Kellen Moore stuff. Like, how are you not upset if you're an alpha receiver watching Schultz get all these targets? How does that not upset you? Can we think just for, like, you know what I'm saying? Just think about that. You know you're a dog and you watching dump offs and you winning your matchups. But we want alpha energy. Your system don't even target playmakers. I swear, man, some of this stuff make you so mad at front office because it be the dumbest stuff. It be like, how you go blame CeeDee Lamb? See, people ain't peeping that. See, you gotta peep it. You gotta really peep it. It's just like any toxic relationship. If you got a toxic man, don't worry about him. He gonna mess up every relationship. If you got a toxic woman, don't worry about her. Don't feel like she got away. She gonna mess up everything. Why? No receiver works here. Don't matter what demeanor. Let me take this other super chat. This is a good one. He said, Kellen needs NFL mentorship. Agree. It's just what it is. But it goes to the other super chat that you just said. While he's learning, it could also be too late. Because they been so patient with Kellen, but they was impatient with Cooper. Now they showing impatience with CeeDee Lamb, but they giving Kellen Moore all the time in the world. If he was so bored genius, why didn't he take this head coaching job? Why did no other places want him? He had to run his butt back to Dallas, where he had a home, because other people saw through him. They was like, you talking about not having alpha energy. If anybody, like my boy Tariq said, Kellen Moore looked like the type of dude that you throw in a closet and you beat him up. Talking about alpha energy. How the front office go talk about people lacking alpha energy and y'all just super co-signing Kellen Moore? That don't even make no sense. All right, another super chat. He said, yes, boss, we got it. We get on our coaches, but we don't just complain without solutions. Absolutely. I'm glad I'm finishing on that one. That's exactly what we are here. Because, nobody just want to hear complaints all day. I don't want to complain all day. I tell you what, me and my boy Boss Cowboy, me and my boy West Coast, we've been on this for years when I used to co-host with him. We used to always say behind the scenes, we would never be the type of people that complain without having ways to fix it. Because then you just a negative channel. Like, I want to be the channel that, okay, this is the problem. This is how you fix it. So I'm going to end on this. Obviously, we know the system is the problem with the Dallas Cowboys and Kellen Moore, where the system is designed to aggressively take what the defense gives, which then allows the defense to dictate where the ball goes. I'm going to say the solution again, because you never know who's listening to this stuff. To me, the solution is you got to have a change up. You can't have one system to where our system is only going to aggressively take what the defense gives. You have to have a matchup schematic change up. Meaning you have to sometimes say, this game, we are specifically featuring our stars. That's what we do in this game. Because if you have no changeup, Kellen Moore, you will get figured out. Now, I know everybody been calling you genius. But see, what happened is they made him start smelling himself. That's what happened. They made him feel like there has never been another good mind in football but him. So I believe to a degree it also made him low-key stubborn. I think he needs to humble down and figure out that there are some people with experience that can teach him some things. I know you was raised as a second generation coach from your dad. But Mike McCarthy and a whole lot of the people that's around you got a lot of wisdom. And I think if he blends his creativeness with their wisdom, we can get on the right track. That's the solution that I believe would take us to the next level. But the problem is also obvious. So some people, as they sit there and listen to this channel, you go get the problems, but we go also give you the solution. And I think if Kellen Moore develop a changeup with mentorship to what Coach Marv said, I think you go get an excellent, complete, balanced offense. Because it will be a crying shame exponentially to have your first pick be Tyler Smith, who his best trait is being a physical blocker, and you come out throwing.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
That would be embarrassing. Your first pick. Yeah. So just like every team, feature your first pick. You bet on this guy, run behind him. Yeah. Run behind him. That's what we want to see. That's solution number 3. But we appreciate everybody, man, at Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Y'all definitely keep y'all notifications on. Before you leave, please don't leave unless you hit that like. It's easy to get caught up listening and forget to do the little things like a simple like. Also, you can continue to help Boss Cowboy Sports through the CashApp. People still do that. I appreciate that. You can put in that way as well. But if it's nothing at all, if it's just the fact that you appreciate the fact that these content creators are putting in a lot of work to try to put in the ideas, just walk out the door just saying, I like it, or even I don't like it. I don't care what you do. We just want to know what you think. If you like it, that's going to make us make better content. If you don't like it, that's going to make us look at ourselves and do introspection. But either way, your voice matter, and y'all stay up. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.